All right, we are live. Here we go. Hopefully, you can hear me decently enough. It's Wednesday, December 10th. If you jump on the video, whether you're on live or on the replay, please comment down below. Let me know if you can hear me all right. And let me know where you're watching the video from. The microphone should be good to go and working. And we got a good topic here today, something that, quite honestly, most people deal with or have dealt with in the past. So I really hope this video can be helpful to you. If you are joining the video, please comment down below. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you can hear me all right and the audio is working good. I'm on my under the desk walking pad here, so it makes a little bit of noise. If the microphone isn't working, you might hear that. But if the microphone is working, we should be good to go. I've got my notes here on the screen in front of me. Today we're talking about yo-yo dieting, right? Which if you're not familiar with the term, sorry, the email just logged me out. That's where I have my notes on here. So if you're not familiar with the yo-yo dieting term, basically what that means is it's a cycle of losing weight and gaining it back, losing weight, gaining it back. So you lose 20 pounds, you gain it back over the next 6 months to 12 months. And it's that cycle all throughout. Almost slipped because my walking pad had a glitch right there. All right, I'm good. I'm good. We're ready to go here. Um, the reason why the yo-yo dieting happens with losing weight, gaining it back, losing weight, gaining it back is because and why it's referred to as yo-yo dieting is people are very strict with their eating for a period of time, which creates the weight loss. And then they essentially binge eat or overdo it and gain all the weight back. So it's that cycle, and there's a few different ways it shows up, as far as overly restricting, binging, and that's what creates the cycle of losing weight and gaining it back. All right. So, and the truth is that, like, more people than you think deal with this. Like, probably the majority of people that are dealing with this to some degree throughout their life, because they say that, like, over 90% of people who lose weight in their life end up gaining all of it back. Not like a little bit, not like 5 pounds for the holidays or 10 pounds. Like, all of the weight that they lost, they gain it back. Most people, like over 90%. And I don't know how accurate that number is, but as someone who works in the industry, who has talked to thousands of individuals about their fitness journey, that sounds right to me. Everyone who's ever reached out to me has told me that they've seen some results in the past, but the reason they're reaching out to me now is because they're not so happy with where they're at, right? Which means they either couldn't sustain it, or they gained weight back, or something's not going right. They're not happy with the way things are going, even if they saw results in the past. So as someone in the industry, that seems about right to me, that most people deal with this. And in this video, I'm going to share with you why I believe that happens. And I'm pretty confident in what I believe here. There's two main reasons that I've seen as to why this yo-yo dieting continues to happen. And I guess to start off and to lead you into the first reason as to why this happens, think about all the magazine front page covers you see in the stores. Think about, like, the ads you see on Facebook and Instagram and social media. Think about the headlines you see, like, on the news. It's like the news is terrible with this health and fitness stuff. They're all like really drastic, extreme examples. It's like if you look at magazine covers, it's a picture of a doctor, and the headline says, "With this doctor's flat belly soup, you can lose 15 pounds in a week. Like that's not even fucking made up. That's true. Like that, I've seen that. I have a screenshot of that on my computer because it's so ridiculous. Or there's a picture of a doctor and it says lose 24 pounds in 7 days or in 2 weeks. And similar things are happening on social media and the news where essentially people are being conditioned to have unrealistic expectations. They think because this doctor is saying you can lose 15 pounds by drinking his soup, that they should be losing 15 pounds in a week. And if they don't lose the same 15 pounds in a week, then it's a failure. Then they're not doing well. Right. So people are being kind of conditioned and fed these expectations that are just fake. They're not real. Um, and they're really messing up people's mindset. Most people in the US especially have the wrong and a terrible and an unrealistic mindset when it comes to this stuff, and it's no fault of their own. Like I said, it's being conditioned by these magazines, headlines, social media, um, because you can't lose 15 pounds of actual fat in a week, right? You can lose 1 to 2 pounds of fat in a week. If you're like 300 pounds or 400 pounds, of course, you can lose 3 pounds or 4 pounds of fat in a week. They say you can lose about 1% of your total body weight in fat per week. So, what that means is with this doctor's flat belly soup or with these extreme claims that you're going to lose 10 pounds in a week or 15 pounds in a week, it means that they're losing 13 pounds of water weight in a week and 1 pound of fat and 2 pounds of muscle in a week, right? So they're not being honest in these headlines. They're they're making you think you're going to lose 10 pounds of fat, 15 pounds of fat in 1 or 2 weeks, when the truth is that that isn't possible. They're not going to do that. No one's going to do that. Right? So the number one issue here that's leading people, let me tie this into yo-yo dieting, is that people are expecting these very fast and extreme results. And when they don't see those extreme results that they're seeing in the headlines and the news and the magazines and social media, they get discouraged because they had false expectations and they either quit altogether or they quit for 3 to 6 months and then they gain weight during those 3 to 6 months. And then they try another quick fix when the new year rolls around. You see how this could possibly turn into that cycle, right? This cycle repeats. They try something, they go with something that is promising them like too good to be true kind of results. It's an approach that like it is not setting them up with a good mindset to approach this journey, especially with weight loss. They try a quick fix, a really overly restrictive diet, a flat belly soup, a detox tea, a carnivore diet, a keto diet, things that are just like totally extreme that nobody could ever live their life doing. And then they don't see the results as fast as they expected, or they get discouraged, or they just simply can't stick to it and they end up quitting because they're getting discouraged. They wouldn't have got discouraged if they had proper expectations in the first place. If they knew to expect to lose 1 pound a week instead of 10, they would have kept going. They would have been able to stick to it longer. So when people quit for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, it's no wonder why everyone is gaining weight back after losing it. You can't quit for 6 months and expect that you're going to be cool with your fitness and your health and that you're going to keep the weight off that you lost. You have to keep doing it, right? That's why you need a plan that actually makes sense for your lifestyle. You need something that you can do within your life. You can't have a plan that you feel like you have to pause the rest of your life just to do this plan because that's not going to work long term. All right. So this is the top issue when it comes to yo-yo dieting is actually the mindset of step one. I'm starting this journey. What are my expectations? Am I expecting to lose 10 pounds in the first week? Am I expecting to lose 20 pounds in the first month? Or am I expecting to lose a pound a week? Or am I understanding that this is going to be a long journey, that I should expect to put in effort for a year, not just expect results right away, quick fix results with little to no effort? This is the first step of building that yo yo dieting cycle for everybody, which is the mindset of it. So people don't only have unrealistic expectations, but they have fake expectations. Wow, we got a lot of comments in here from Danielle or Daniel. I don't know what any of these comments mean, but thank you. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat. Let me know if that makes sense. If that, can you see the logic of like how the yo-yo dieting cycle starts with like what you're expecting in your head and the, like your frame of mind going into it? If anyone ever reaches out to me and says they want help and they want me to coach them and they're expecting to lose 10 pounds in a week, or they're expecting to lose 20 or 30 pounds in the first month, I literally wouldn't even consider working with them. They could pay double the price and it's just not worth the headache unless they're open to like changing their mindset. Usually when people reach out to me, they've watched some of my content and they're in the right frame of mind, they're in the right mindset anyway. But man, is it tough. It's just a huge waste of time if you're in this quick fix mindset. It doesn't matter what we do together. It's going to feel like a failure if you're not losing at that expected rate that you saw in the magazine, right? So that's step number one and issue number one. Issue number two is a result of this mindset, which is that everyone has kind of developed the quick fix mindset. And since they're expecting results right away and they want really extreme, drastic results, the only thing that promises extreme results like that are like quick fix gimmicks, like scams, right? Like I said before, the juice cleanses, the elimination diets, like carnivore or keto, um, the like stomach vibrators, right? You buy a stomach vibrator for like $100 on some scammy website, and it says you can sit there and watch Netflix while it's working your abs. Like if you're buying that, like if you have a stomach vibrator that claims that will help you get abs by just watching TV, it doesn't get much more quick fix mindset than that, right? You're looking for ways to get results with no effort. And if that's you, like, don't be angry at me. Just like realize like that you're becoming aware that it doesn't get more quick fix than that. Quick fix scammy products are ones that tell you, oh, you can see these results. You can look like this fitness model on the package. And all you have to do is sit there and put the stomach vibrator on for an hour a day, or just drink these juice cleanses, or just take these supplements and it'll boost your testosterone and it'll make you have more muscle. These are all options that are trying to trick you into thinking there's no effort on your part involved. That's what sells. That's what sells to you guys the best. That's why you still see it everywhere, is no effort, fast results. And I could easily tell you that as well. I could easily tell you, if you work with me as your coach, You'll barely have to do anything hard and you're going to see amazing results. But the truth is, you're going to have to put in some effort. That's why I love working with people who are already working out. They're already active. They're already trying to eat somewhat healthy, right? Of course, you don't have to be perfect with this stuff. But if you're already doing all the things I'm going to ask you to do anyway, there's no risk. We just have to put into place an actual plan with those workouts to make them better and make them more optimal for seeing the results that you want to see. Whatever you're doing, if you're not happy with your results, I'm going to give you something. You're already at the gym, just do this instead. You're already eating food, you're already trying to eat healthy, so just eat this amount of it. And I know if you do that, you're going to see great results. But it's the people constantly yo yo dieting that are looking for these no effort, fast result promises. Does that make sense? So what happens then is they're looking for these products that make the biggest claims and the things that are too good to be true. Those are the things that they're opting for because those are the ones promising extreme results. And obviously, it either doesn't work or you just can't stick to it for too long. You can't stick to elimination diet for too long. So you end up going back to what you were doing before and you gain the weight back, right? So in this case, people are after extreme results, so they're trying extreme approaches. And they're also unsustainable approaches. So that's kind of the path and the direction that most people are going. And so, yeah, this leads them down a very predictable path of yo-yo dieting, right? It's like it's not a shock. Um, so here's the change. If you've dealt with the yo-yo dieting, maybe it's not as extreme or obvious as what I'm explaining. Like what I'm explaining is like the mindset really of like a total beginner who's like falling for these scams and gimmicks, right? Falling for the supplement stack, falling for the stomach vibrator, falling for the juice cleanse, right? Maybe you've done that in the past, but you're past that now. Even if you're more advanced, it could still happen to you with less obvious examples, right? So and that's where like the real diets come in. Like the overly restrictive diets, like the keto diet, which was huge for a decade there. No wonder why everybody's yo-yo dieting. The keto diet was the most popular diet for people to try for a decade, where you can't eat fruit on the keto diet. You can't even eat vegetables. The keto diet is like you eat like 20 grams of carbs a day. So you can't even have vegetables. No wonder, right? Like nobody can live like that. Like 1% of the population can live like that. And that's why it becomes so loud because even 1% of the population is still millions of people. But what people don't understand is there's hundreds of millions who are yo-yo dieting because of that approach. And the carnivore is just an even more extreme version of keto. More extreme, more dangerous, because you're essentially saying in the carnivore diet you can't ever eat fiber, so your colon health, like your risk of colon, you know unhealthy colon health down the road is like drastically increased. Not something I'd recommend. Not only is it like a bad extreme diet that's like I don't recommend, it's a straight up dangerous diet for long-term health. Dangerous. Man, we're gonna look back on this carnivore time and be like, what the hell were people actually doing? What did they think was gonna happen? eating 0 grams of fiber. Like, what exactly did they think was gonna happen, right? So that's an example of, like, doing one of these extreme drastic diets because they're so strict, it's kind of appealing, right? It's like, I'm gonna do something so strict so that I can see results really quickly. It's almost like the all or nothing mindset. I'm going to go all in 100% with my nutrition, and that means no carbs, no sugar, not 1 gram of sugar, right? And of course, you can't live this way. First of all, I think it's funny when people say I cut out sugar. Yeah, okay. You can't go a day with 0 grams of sugar. You can't. I can go through everything you eat in a day. You're not avoiding having a gram of sugar. It's utterly ridiculous if you think that you're having 0 sugar in a day. But, so, of course, like, if even if you're just taking a really strict, extreme, overly restrictive approach with nutrition, that very clearly and predictably leads down the yo-yo dieting path as well. Because once you start traveling for work, once the holidays come up, once the summertime rolls around, you just can't stick to it. So you go a couple months not sticking to it and either going off track and, like, big time and, like, pretty quickly gaining the weight back, or kind of gradually over time, over 4 months, over 7 months, you add on a couple pounds a month, and all of a sudden you've gained the 20 pounds back. All right. And this, happens when uh, people aren't tracking their progress, right? When people aren't weighing in every day, when people aren't tracking their food. That's why, like, I haven't had anybody who's actively weighing in every day like I asked them to do, actively reporting back their food to me like I asked them to do. I haven't had anybody gain 20 pounds back or 25 or 30 pounds back because we would catch it after 5 pounds or 10 pounds. We catch it. We're like, oh shit, yeah, you gained 7 pounds over the last couple months. Like, let's dial it in now. We catch it and we get back on track. But it's the people who don't have any accountability. They don't have a second set of eyes on something. So they go 4 months without weighing in because they're scared to weigh in. They're like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to see a number I like." So they avoid it. We avoid what we don't like, right? So they don't weigh in for 4 months or 6 months. Yeah, no shit. When you get back on the scale, you're going to be 25 pounds heavier or 20 pounds heavier or 15 pounds heavier. But if you have someone in your ear saying, hey, dude, it's been 13 days since you've weighed in. Let's get back to doing that. Oh shit, yeah, you're up 4 pounds. That's all right. You're up 5 pounds. That's fine. All right, let's get back to our routine. Let's get back to our program. And we get back on track. But most people don't have that person in their ear. They don't have accountability. They're not tracking progress the right way. They're just doing the strict extreme approach. And then when they fall off track, they don't know what the hell to do. So they're just off track for 3 months. And then they go back to the strict extreme approach because they think it worked. They think it worked the first time. I've got some tough love for you here. If you lost any reasonable, significant amount of weight, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, 50 pounds, and then gained all of it back, that didn't work. It didn't work for a reason, right? You gained the weight back for a reason. You couldn't continue doing it. Or, like, people in their head think, oh, I just didn't continue. No, you couldn't continue doing it. If you could have continued, if you could have continued doing it on your own, you would have. You didn't want to gain weight back. You didn't want to gain all the weight back that you lost. You just simply couldn't continue the plan you were following for various reasons. It could have been valid reasons. Life got really hard. Life got really busy. Family life, there were things going on in family life. There were things going on in work. But fitness and health doesn't exist in some imaginary bubble where you can only do it when things are perfect in life and easy. right? This fitness stuff and health, it only exists within real life. There's going to be tons of obstacles that are thrown at you along the way. There's going to be tons of things in life that make it harder that aren't fitness related. You lose a loved one, a family member. You lose your job. You have to switch jobs. The job sucks. The schedule sucks. The commute sucks. You only have 15 minutes a day to work out. The coworkers are always shoving pizza down your throat and inviting you out to eat and inviting you for drinks. Yeah, like these are things you have to deal with. If you can't tell coworkers no, you're screwed. You have to you have to be able to stand up for the things that are important to you. If you can't go to coworkers and be like, "Nah, I'm not drinking again. I'm not drinking a fourth day this week." If you can't straight up be like, "Nah, I'm gonna save some drinks for Friday, but I'm not drinking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday." It's like, "No, I'm not going out to eat with you guys. I brought my own food. I'll save Friday to go out to eat to lunch with you guys." Like these are things you need to be able to do. And if you can't stand up for yourself, or if you can't tell coworkers no, if you can't tell family members no, if you can't tell friends no, if you can't tell your significant other no, yeah, it's going to be more likely that you gain weight back after losing it. It's as simple as that, right? This is life. We have to be able to confidently stand up for the things that matter to us. And this plays into yo-yo dieting. It plays into it. So what we need to do to overcome this yo-yo dieting cycle is, first of all, we have to ditch the quick fix mindset, right? You know that. We have to have a long-term mindset. We have to not expect fast results immediately. We have to not expect that we're going to lose 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds per week. You can't do that. We have to expect or aim for about 1 pound of fat loss per week. So, and that's on average. So, what that means is some weeks you'll lose nothing, and that's okay. That's part of the game. Other weeks you'll lose a pound or 2 pounds. But on average, aim for about a pound loss per week. That's setting proper expectations. That's what sustainable fat loss looks like. That's what it looks like. People who are losing 10 pounds in a week are the ones yo-yo dieting. Those are the ones who will be back in the same spot in 6 months looking for another way to lose weight, or in 12 months. The ones who lose a pound a week, or a pound every other week, or 2 pounds, like a few pounds a month, those are the guys, and I've coached dozens of them. Those are the guys who are in the best shape of their life a year from now, and 2 years from now, and 3 years from now, because they were patient, because they had the right first step, the mindset part of it and the expectations. They had that right. So they knew they were going to stick to this for a year. They knew it was a 2 year, 3 year journey. All right. So, yes, you have to have that long term mindset, and you're going to be training for life consistently. It's going to be part of your life. You're going to be eating well for life. That doesn't mean you can't ever enjoy a treat or a special occasion, but you have to look at this as not like um like a temporary diet or plan, but you have to look at it as, this is how I go about life. And by the way, it gets easier, especially with the social pressure I was talking about, with the coworkers, with the family, with the friends. It gets easier to tell people no, and you don't have to tell them no all the time. There are times where, and I'll tell you what I do, there are times where I tell friends in the past, coworkers, Morgan, like everybody, friends, like I tell them, no, I'm not eating, I'm not gonna go, I don't want to go out to eat there, or I'm not gonna have any drinks with you guys, or I'm not gonna do this, or I'm not gonna do that. I can still hang out with them. I can still enjoy my time with everybody in my life without having those things. And maybe that's because I'm in a phase where I'm trying to see better results. Like it's important to me to see better results. And maybe that's a 6 month stretch or a 4 month time period where I'm telling friends that, or I'm telling Morgan, you know what, let's not go out to eat again, right? Like let's try to just go out to eat once a week for now, just because it's really important to me to, like, I'm gonna feel like shit if I don't see better results. It's like there's levels to going through phases of the calendar year and phases of your journey where seeing better results is one of the top priorities, and it's more important than going out to eat again, and it's more important than having drinks tonight. And then there will be other phases where you allow yourself to have more flexibility, and that's fine too. For me, that's around the holidays. I plan to have more macros to work with during the holidays. My macros are higher. I have more flexibility and more wiggle room. I'll allow myself to have more desserts around the holidays. I'll allow myself to, enjoy certain things that maybe during other phases I'm going to say no to. So it's not like a forever thing, but you just have to know what kind of phase you're in and what's important to you right now. All right. So the next way you're going to overcome this yo-yo dieting cycle is to pick a program that doesn't suck to follow. All right. So again, carnivore sucks to follow. You have to essentially only eat steak and eggs. Like, of course, I love steak and eggs, but make no mistake about it, it sucks to follow that. You can't, like, imagine trying to live life with a significant other when you only eat steak and eggs and they want to live a normal life and they want to have something else to eat. Like it makes it harder to be in a relationship. It makes it harder to have those social times with friends. It makes it harder, like you have to give restaurants special requests. Can you not use it? Don't use this butter. You have to, can you use, I brought my own grass-fed butter. Can you use it? It's like it sucks. It's a worse, it diminishes other areas of your life to follow certain diets. So if you're seriously dreading following your nutrition program or your training program, it's not the right program. And the chance that you stick to a plan for any significant amount of time, if you're dreading it every single day, is 0%. You're not going to stick with your plan if you're absolutely dreading it and if it sucks. And that's where the yo yo dieting comes in, right? So you need a plan that is fairly sustainable, not completely extreme, and that actually blends in with your life. And it should, like, if you have the right plan with eating especially, it should make your life better. It should make your life a little bit easier, not harder, and it shouldn't make your life worse. And this is the approach that I take with my clients. Of course, if you're a client watching this, you know, I'm constantly asking you how you feel with your hunger levels, how you feel with your energy. And most of the time, people are feeling pretty good. So let me know if that makes sense. Um, it's a little bit all over the place, but that's the basis of why yo yo dieting is so prevalent and why so many people, such a large percentage of the population, has fallen victim to the yo-yo dieting cycle, at least to some degree throughout their life. Some more extreme than others, of course. There's ways to fall into the yo-yo dieting cycle that aren't like quite as drastic and obvious. Like there's obviously the people who like will do these extreme things, lose literally 20 pounds in like a month or two. Obviously not all body fat, and then literally gain it back within a month or two. And it's that quick and that intense. Like that's like the most extreme way. But again, there's people who have lost 100 pounds over 6 months or whatever it was, which by the way, losing 100 pounds in 6 months is fast. That is a fast uh, rate of fat loss. And then there's, a lot of those people have gained it back. And usually, they're not gaining 100 pounds back in the next few months. They're gaining 100 pounds back after the next year, 2 years, gradually. Year, 2 years, they gain all of it back little by little, 5 pounds a month or 8 pounds a month, whatever, right? And it's because most of the time they just don't have the proper support to transition. Like there's a huge difference between losing weight and the plan to maintain it and keep it off. People, when they don't have support, when they don't have accountability, when they don't have direction from a professional and a coach, they think, and I've noticed this just from firsthand experience, you guys think that you have to do whatever got me to lose the weight. I have to do that exact thing to keep it off because that's what worked. But you can't be in a calorie deficit forever. I'll say that again. You can't be in a calorie deficit forever. So you can either plan to build up to maintenance calories on purpose and maintain your body composition and your weight on purpose by raising your calories to maintenance so that you're not in a deficit on purpose and have it be part of the plan. Or you can just stay in a deficit until you get so hungry that you're snacking every single night or binging on the weekends. And then you go into a calorie surplus, not on purpose. And you little by little, 5 pounds a month, gain all your weight back. Right? Let me know if this makes sense. So it very much has to do with mindset. It very much has to do with the approach you take and how sustainable it is. And it very much has to do with the maintenance plan afterwards. So it's those three things. The mindset, do you have the right mindset going into this? Are you looking for a quick fix? Are you looking to lose 10 pounds in the first week? Are you looking to do a no effort, fast results approach? Or do you have the right mindset? Do you know this is going to take a year? Do you know this is going to take 2 years? Do you know this is a lifestyle and not a temporary quick fix? That's the first thing. If you have that quick fix mindset, you're screwed from the beginning. You are screwed from the beginning. Number two is the approach, right? So if you have the right mindset, if you have a long-term mindset, you're more likely to pick the right approach, an approach that you can stick to, an approach that is logical, that makes sense, that is sustainable, that you can stick to for a long period of time, that is sort of becomes part of your life rather than just becomes a program that you're doing. So the first thing, the mindset leads to the approach. So if your mindset's off, you're going to go with the wrong approach and you're almost certainly going to yo-yo diet. And then the third thing, like I said, is the maintenance plan. Now, this is where even if you've got the right mindset and you pick the right approach, the maintenance plan is different, like I just said before. So this is where you can end up yo-yo dieting in a less obvious way. If you don't know how to maintain the weight once you've lost it, even if you're in the right mindset, even if you had a reasonable plan that you were following that made sense, you're not out of the woods yet with avoiding yo-yo dieting if you don't know how to maintain it for like a year. With all my clients that have lost like at least 20 pounds or more, my main goal is, hey, a year from now or a year from when you lose the weight that you want to lose, have you kept it off? Are you still in the body composition that you're happy with? That's all I care about. I could care less if I help a client lose 20 pounds if in 6 months from now they've gained it back and they're in the same spot looking for new things. That's I have no interest in that. All I care about is, are you better off a year from today and 2 years from today? That's what matters. And that's the mindset I take, and that's the approach that I take. So, hope this was helpful. If that resonates with you, if you're not a client of mine and you're watching this, uh, feel free to send me a message, comment below Modern Man, or send me an email with the subject line Modern Man if you want to explore the options of working together and see if I can help with what your goals are right now, if this all resonates with you. Or you can go to modernmanprogram.com and check out some details there. If you're a client of mine watching this, much of this stuff you know already, but it's always good to hear it again. It's probably a message and a talk that we all need to hear on our journey a few times every year, maybe once a year, just to keep us out of that quick fix mindset. Because I've got to say, with social media these days, it's impossible not to see the quick fix gimmicks and scams, and the influencers these days just spewing nonsense, spewing quick fixes. Oh, this apple cider vinegar recipe will make you lose fat. This supplement will help you, will strip fat off your body. Do this 30-second thing and you're going to see better results than ever. But it's impossible to escape this like quick fix social media culture and these gimmicks and the sales, like the pitches for every product out there, the shiny object syndrome. So even if you know this stuff, I hope this was just a reminder to stay in that long-term mindset, stay patient, stick to your plan that you have, and know that over time things will be improved. So again, hope this was helpful. Catch you on the next video. I go live every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. And see you next time. Bye.